Hello and welcome to this week's video. Now I am recording this just after finishing all of the work that is making up today's video, and I can tell you that it has been quite the learning journey, a very rewarding one because I have never taken on something like this in my life before. A lot of assumptions were made that were proven not to be true. A lot of expectations and hope were completely crushed. But the good thing is that all of this is a learning journey, and we have learned so much again today about all sorts of things that we need to take into account when renovating this house, what is waiting for us, but also how we can improve the house into something that is fit for the 21st century. So without further ado, let's get into it. Good morning. In today's video we are going to tackle a problem that we have been facing and then have been pushing down the road since we moved in, which is the plumbing of the grey water. A few days after we moved in, we noticed there was some build-up in the garage, and slowly but steadily a kind of pond started to grow around the grey water plumbing. And we've not had the time and patience to deal with it. So today we are going to hopefully resolve it, and by the end hopefully we will have all the grey water just running through, and we can say farewell to the pond in our garage, because an inside pond isn't quite what we were hoping for, especially not one that smells as badly as this one. The problem seems to be that there is a lot of probably build-up within the last bit of the plumbing pipe that makes it back up. But as you can see here in the basin, that's the between the house and the septic tank, there's a lot of little stones and things like that. So job one is to make sure that this is all cleared out, and then try and enter with our drainage plumbing cleaner thing that we've had for ages and have only used once, to try and unclog it. It probably will not be pretty, so apologies in advance if you see any gory stuff. We'll try to filter it out as much as we can.
I've already done a bit of prep work before, looking at where the draining was coming from and where it was going to, because initially all we could see was this top little bit sticking out with a half bottle stuck on top of it, and occasionally it would just pop off and there would be some water. So digging it out, I could see that there is one drain that comes from the kitchen, comes down here into this junction. There's another drain that comes from there, from the bathroom. This is all the grey water, not the black water. That at least has a separate line. And then it continues here out the wall into the little gully that you could see outside the house. Unfortunately, it has flooded again, so you can't see the piping underneath, but it shows you that the water is just sitting at this level and doesn't want to go anywhere yet. When it's empty, it just sort of slowly seeps out of the pipework. So that probably at some point needs replacing as well. Plenty to do, but let's start in the place where it's not completely flooded and then try and work our way back.
Let's start with digging out some of the stones that are already in here. The bucket of water that I've just thrown in, as you can see, also doesn't want to completely flow away. So I think I'll have to work some magic on both ends of the plumbing. René, we hebben twee problemen.
Zeg eens.
Het loopt hier ook al niet door. En ik heb dat hele ding er ongeveer ingedingest.
Dit ding ook die kant op gedaan?
Ja.
Oké. I've just opened up this access hatch. It's getting completely overgrown with grass. I don't know if we'll be able to lift it to see if it's completely full or anything, but at least it gives us a chance to do so.
Oh, look at that. Nou, waar je het ziet, daar zit een ding. Dit is een aparte kamer.
Ja.
Maar er komt wel een lijn uit, maar die gaat daarin.
Er komt weinig water in.
Yeah. So this one, there's absolutely no water here. What you can see, I think there is, yes, there is a pipe that goes in the direction of the land, so that is probably an outlet at some point. We can't really see an inlet, but maybe by just holding it here in editing I might be able to see something. But yeah, you can hopefully appreciate that this smells like terribly. And I think we have some Googling to do. This is starting to look like a problem that we will not be able to resolve today. I think we have to get used to not being as optimistic as we might have been this morning when we started. Even though we said hopefully, there was still a little too much hope that we could indeed resolve it. Part of the problem solving will probably involve digging up a lot of the pipework that goes both between the inlet in the house, in the garage, and then connecting to the outside basin, but then also from the basin all the way to the septic tank. I got the device in around 3 meters, I think maybe 3.5 meters, and there was no blockage that I could feel, yet the water is still not flowing through. So somewhere between those 3 meters and the following 2.5-3 meters, something must be wrong, and we have to figure out what that is. In the meantime, it probably can't hurt to order some help with the septic tank to get that drained out, to get that emptied by a company, which would also hopefully, say hopefully a lot, I just said that I was going to stop doing that. That will then probably also give us a bit of a fresh start, so we can start building up our septic tank and filling it up, and then slowly draining it as it should be. We have no idea whether the level we just saw is too high or not, so that's something that we also have to ask the internet for advice for. And let's see if there's anything I can do today still, maybe inside the garage, digging up that bit, because that is the shortest bit, so just to see what's going on there. But for the digging outside, with how stony the ground here is, that might be a job for another time. Also because my ankle is still hurting, and I don't think that digging and putting pressure on it today is going to be the best for that healing process. So let's see what we can find in the garage. Let's start with the lovely job of getting rid of the pond that has managed to manifest here in the garage, and then hopefully I can see where the pipe is going and start doing some investigative digging. I can tell you this smells absolutely free and lovely. And this is just the shower water and the water from washing up, nothing else. So there's no sewer water in this. So you can just imagine how wonderful this is. So this seems to be going all the way, and I think, and I'll take you with me, that I will now be able to see this little thing on the outside. Okay, this is very interesting because it is not coming out at all where I expected. It is actually coming out of the hole that is coming from the black water, which is strange. So I think that under the bit where I haven't dug out yet, there might be a junction. I don't know. Let's find out. Okay, so it appears that this is the airing hole for the black water. So I've just been digging around in a bit of shit, which is just lovely. But it also means that the pipe that I was hoping to uncover here is for the grey water is probably just somewhere next to it, so probably somewhere under here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cover this with a bit of something else, and then continue digging on that end to see whether I can indeed then locate the other one. I just went for some slightly thinner close. Although there might come a point that I might just have to grin and bear it and go in. We just had some lunch and talked through a few things. Some of the things I'll talk about at the end of this video, but for now we are going to at least make sure that we can start unblocking the pipe. And for that we are going to take off the top of the pipe because now it's got the smaller bit and we just can't make that turn. So for that I need to dig out the pipe that is running across here so that we have some flexibility. We can take it off and then hopefully pop it back on again, and after we have unclogged it, fingers crossed. So let's go and have a look at that. Way. So now the question is, can we make it work? Stel je voor, stop eens even.
Wat?
Stop eens even. Ja.
Daarmee een beetje heen en weer komen. Moeilijker?
Ja.
Top.
Ik ben er niet helemaal in al. Hey, we've got some success. We actually managed to get it in.
And then I like it, okay?
Yeah. Now trying to, in bits, try and work it back. So hopefully some of the worst stuff will come with it. Although it feels like, oh, look at this. Look at this. This is just lovely. But I'm hopeful. This means maybe if we can get it there. So this is dangerous because now we have hope again. Let's see. Het is heel moeilijk om door te kunnen blijven duwen, zeg maar.
Ja.
Oh, wacht even. Oh, this is not good for anyone's knees.
Het is ook nog onder je kniehoogte te werken natuurlijk.
Ja.
En wat dat? Wortel.
Nee, steen van calcified shit. Hey. It's still sludge. I think we're through. Yes! Yes!
Ik zou nog even een paar keer doorheen jassen.
Ja.
Ja.
This must have been one of the grossest things that I have done to date, but it had to be done, and at least now we have some answers and we have some plans as well. So let's start with the answers. So yes, it was indeed all completely blocked by years of build up of probably like washing powder, hairs, sludge, all these kinds of things. And we have managed to unblock at least the bit within the house that goes out of the house. So in a way, this day wasn't a complete loss because we have indeed resolved one thing. The thing we've not resolved is the blockage, probably, between the house and the septic tank. Now that will require a lot of digging, and in the meantime we are probably going to call for a company that can help us at least with pumping empty as much as we can the septic tank, and also to give us some advice as to the state of the actual septic tank, because we have the two reservoirs. One of them, where clearly all the black water is going, is quite full, although it might be a healthy amount of filling. We don't know, also something that we need to figure out. But the other reservoir is completely empty, and we're suspecting that the grey water might actually go there directly, because we did not see another inlet in the at least the black water part of the septic tank. So that will require more investigation, probably some professionals involved as well. So that's kind of the answers that we've got. Then when it comes to the plans and the kind of the problems that we've discovered, clearly there is no really good degree, like an angle, to get all the waste down from where it's coming from in the house and then outside of the house. So it is clear that the water is kind of level, so the pipes are at a near 0 degrees. I don't know, but that is something that over lunch we've been discussing, like how can we resolve this. And the first idea was to, because we are going to do the entire garage floor, to waterproof it and to make it a really good space to be working, to put new piping down, maybe lift up the floor a bit, and then get a decent angle going so that the water actually makes its way through the system and then to the septic tank, to actually put some power behind it as well, because the way it is going now, it's nearly not going. So there's no surprise that it's had so much chance to build up all that stuff that we've just managed to pull out. But then we started talking a bit more, And then I thought, well, why do we not get it from the source almost, and then let it run down from the ceiling towards where it needs to be, and that way we will be able to give it a very decent angle, and we won't have these pipes hidden in the ground anymore, because we are going to cover the floor hopefully with tiles or maybe some concrete. We really don't want to have those pipes hidden, so if something like this happens again, we would need to dig it up. So it makes sense to have all of those pipes actually come from the ceiling and then make their way down. So that's a win-win-win. So we'll get the angle, we'll have it accessible, and we don't need to lift up the floor to make sure that we get the right angle to keep everything moving. Yeah, so that's the end of this video. Hopefully next time we'll have some more to tell about the septic tank, although I suspect that will take a few weeks for someone to come out and for us to start digging. So this is a very much to be continued situation. But isn't everything that we're doing, to be fair. So I hope you didn't find this a shitty video, although it was a bit of a shitty job. It's a good thing you can't smell me, otherwise I think we would lose a lot of subscribers. So if you've made it so far, thank you so much for watching, and we see you in the next one. Just waiting for me to get that shit in my face.